You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Do the same. All right, folks. One of the people who texted me on Friday night to alert me of the passing of Andre Harrell was one of the other folks you heard Al B. Sure talking about, and that is Teddy Riley. Of course, Guy, the group Guy, worked with Uptown, and Teddy Riley is known Andre Harrell for a very long time, and he joins us right here on Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Hey,
Teddy?
Roland, how are you?
Just what did Andre Harrell mean for you as an artist, as a human being?
Well, I can call Andre Harrell so many things, and they all are great, as far as being a coach, as far as being a mentor, as far as being, a big brother figure. He's been that for me. Even times when, I kind of moved on, I would always see Andre. When I was doing the versus battle, Andre was the last person on the phone that I talked to. And he was the person that gave me the pep talk, like what I need to do, because he knew that LA and Babyface was together. So I think, and this is just him, like I'll Be Sure said, he's such an unselfish guy. He always gives his time, his spirit, and his humbleness to others. And when he talked to me, the one thing he asked was, "You good? Are you all right? You know what to play? You got this?" And I felt like the Andre who, when I used to go to Brooklyn to his office, the Uptown office, I used to stay there, sleep on the couch, and just to learn everything I needed to learn. And, I would go straight from school to Andre, to the actual office.
We played that clip from the Black Breakfast Club on how you guys got together. You said you were supposed to be the producer. Okay, how did you go from, whose idea was to say, no, Doc, I need to have you in the group as well? Was it Andre's idea? Was it yours? How did that all work out?
Well, Andre was the last one to champion me being in the actual band, but Aaron was the one who really pushed it because he wanted, a group, and he wanted to try it with the group before he went solo. So if we're speaking about Guy, that's, that was basically Aaron pushing it and Andre, sealing it, and Gene Griffin as well, who actually said, no, you need to be visually seen. You're doing the music, you're doing all the music, so you need to be in the group. So that's how I became a part of Guy.
Do you think it was, when I think back to what Al B. Sure had to say, Berry Gordy was a songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he wrote hit songs. Then, of course, he founds Motown. Andre was in a group, then becomes an executive. There are people who are in the industry who are executives who've never been artists. So do you think he was so successful because he understood the artist because he was once in that position?
Yes, he definitely understood being an artist, and that's the one thing that I have to say gives him the credit of being that Berry Gordy, because he played both sides of the fence, but he also was a songwriter. I mean, as far as rap is concerned, because with him and Alonzo, they, I was fans. I used to go see them at Harlem World, and I would see them perform, and they would come out with the fur coats, and that's how, it kind of inspired me to do, with Guy, we had to be fly. We had the Dapper Dans. We had the, just all of the high profile clothing lines like, you know, Eye, his actual upper echelon line, and also Sean John, and you know, Cross Colors and all of that. Andre was one who pushed not just music, but he pushed fashion. He pushed everything. He pushed the scale of everything. So Andre was that guy on the other side who did it different as far as, you know, the culture, and as far as the style and direction of each group, and nobody looked the same. So that's a true record man, and a true visionary. You know, he knew what people should look like, and nobody looked the same. So yes.
Uh, the when D Nice was spinning Friday, and he told the world what happened. Shortly after that, you sent me a text saying the same, and it has to be jarring to lose him suddenly, and especially somebody who was so active. His former wife said he had heart problems. He had a heart condition. A lot of people didn't know that. But also, I think for so many of us, losing another black man before the age of 60. When I think back to some of our other greats, Barry White, Luther Vandross, we can go down the line. I think that also is what is still shocking for so many people, because I think we look at losing greats a lot different when they're in their 70s or 80s or 90s, because they've lived a long and full life. And you hear people say, man, we lost him so soon. But Andre Harrell packed a whole lot in 59 years.
Yes, he did. He did a whole lot. In fact, I don't think there's a person out there in the music industry that he haven't crossed paths with. And I'm talking about even the new artists. The respect that he got from the new artists, you know, and also working back with Diddy, you know, that was the greatest reunion that I've ever seen of two coming back together, you know. He was just that lovable guy. Like, I think that his reflection reflected on me, it reflected on Heavy, it reflected on Al B and all of the people from Uptown. Because if you speak to any one of us, you would hear, you know, something from Andre that comes out of us, whether it's a slang word or something, you know, that he would do. You know, it was just that he was just that type of person.
You saw him in totally different settings than, frankly, for the general public. What is the funniest or the craziest Andre Harrell story that you can share with us?
The craziest was when we were, I think we were in Canada, and we were speaking at a music symposium out there, and I was trying to figure out, you know, what we're gonna wear. So the picture that I post was something that we both just put together, and you know, he had his assistant, I had my assistant, and I just didn't know what to wear, because I know Andre was gonna come fly. He was gonna definitely come with the sports jacket on, and the one thing that Andre always say is, you know, man, just come how you are. You Teddy Riley. You Teddy effing Riley. I'm like, he does that with everybody, and I'm like, he said that with me, and that's what a lot of people say, you know, you Teddy effing Riley, and I'm like, you know, I don't curse, you know, I try to just stay, you know, clean, because my kids watch me all the time, and you know, that was one of the things that he would say, and then he go, when I walked in the room, and he said, "You good?" He look at you, and that's the one thing. If you get Andre approval, or the Diddy approval, or you know, some of my friends, Snoop, then they'll fix your collar or whatever, something you would do, you know what I'm saying, with your guys and even me, when
Right.
we did the show at Essence, you came up to me and said, you fly, I like that, and it was it, when you get that approval from your big brother, you good. And that's what Andre, he was that person to tell you when you're good, even down to the females. Like he would tell you, you know, you straight, you fly, don't worry about it, don't change. Because most times, females want to wear different things, or I don't think I look right. We just roll with it, especially if we get an approval from Andre. So that was him. He was the coach. He was the guy that, gave the approval, the fly approval.
Uh, Last question for you. Um, what is it? Obviously, the movie, the three-part movie is going to be coming up later this year on BET. And if there is a kid 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now who comes across the name Andre Harrell, what's the one thing that you want that kid to know?
All around guy who did it all, who was an artist, who was in a record company, publishing company, everything in the music industry that you could name. Andre was that. Even down to producing, shows with Revolt and all of the great things that he's done, and giving others, pointers and swag. He was that guy that was that visionary. And we can go back on a lot of things that he's done for a lot of us. These kids should definitely know that he was one visionary that became our new millennium, Barry Gordy, and he was that, I was one of the producers of Uptown Records that he called on to work on different projects and several projects, and I was that sponge in the back, and when I was called, I came out and I shined because, with Andre, you got to shine with him. So kids need to know what he's done, especially they're gonna know through me, and they're gonna know through this film, what he's done for all of us and what he means to the culture.
Teddy Riley, it's always a pleasure. We're going to have you back on the show on Wednesday. Looking forward to that conversation, but we certainly wanted to have your voice as we remember do this special. And just real quick, if you got anything you want to just share with regards to Little Richard and Betty Wright before we go.
Yeah, I mean, Little Richard was definitely an uncle to us because we got to actually spend some time with Richard at the Sunset Marquee. A lot of people didn't know that he had a residency in the Sunset Marquee in LA. And he stayed in the same room. Every time we check in that hotel, he's in that same room. So we was trying to figure it out. What, he live here? So he, he came out of his room one day and he said, Teddy, Aaron, oh, y'all all staying next to us. I was like, who's us? It was Millie Jackson. She was there too. And most of the legendary artists had residencies. The hotel would give them that same room when they come to that hotel. So Sunset Marquee was one of those hotels where we had got into a situation. I think it was the week of Aaron Hall's birthday. And this is one time we got a pep talk from him that was a scolding. And I'll tell you the scolding. We had got into a problem. Aaron had got into a situation with his girlfriend. And when he got into that situation, it made a lot of noise in the hotel on that first floor. And that particular floor, we was all staying on there. And Little Richard came out of his room and he told us, man, y'all can't be doing this. Y'all the new thing. Y'all the new stars. And, y'all don't need to be going through all of this, man. Y'all fighting girls and all of this stuff. And I said, well, it's not me. He said, I know, but if it's him, it's all of you. And he's right. If one gets in trouble, you're all in trouble. It's one for all. And that's what he said. And then My favorite song that I learned first that my father put in front of me was Tutti Frutti. And just so that you know, that's my connection with him and actually getting to meet him. And then Auntie Betty. She was like an aunt to me, and she always wanted to work with me because she felt like my music would be the answer to what she wanted to do, and she wanted to get into some gospel as well. And she was like, what you did with the Winans was so special to me, and things of that nature. That was my connection to her, and getting to speak to her on the phone at least 3 or 4 times. I have to say we're gonna miss all 3 of these incredible entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs.
Teddy Riley, we certainly appreciate it, man. Thank you so very much.
Thank you for having me, man, and I'll talk to you soon.
Every single night. We've got some of the top black experts. You're not going to see them on cable news or broadcast news because you swear black people aren't experts when it comes to this health crisis. That's why we have this show and why we do what we do every day on Roland Martin Unfiltered. Joining us right now is retired General Russell Honore, the nation's first black Surgeon General, Dr. Joycelyn Eldridge. John Hope Bryant, he is the founder of Operation Hope. Senator Kamala Harris of California, Dr. Sadrina Calder, retired General Lloyd Austin, Congresswoman Karen Bass, Commissioner Omari Hardick, Bureau President in Brooklyn, Eric Adams, Dr. Joseph Graves, America's Wealth Coach, Deborah Owens, Dr. Corey Abear, Patel Saul, Howard University student, Pastor Jamal Bryant, Dr. Christy McDowell, Benja Ajilore, senior economist at the Center for American Progress, Gilda Daniels, again, author of the book, The Crisis of Voter Suppression in America. 4 stars, General Kip Ward. Dr. Oliver Brooks is president of the National Medical Association, president of the American Medical Association, Dr. Patrice Harris. Joby Benjamin, Dr. Alexia Gaffney, infectious disease specialist, Dr. Georges Benjamin, executive director of the American Public Health Association, Malcolm Nance, family medicine physician, Dr. Jen Caudle, Dr. Tashaka Cunningham, a molecular biologist, Kat Stafford. She's a national race and ethnicity reporter for the Associated Press. Dr. Wayne A.I. Frederick, who is the president of Howard University, Congresswoman Yvette Clarke from the state of New York, William Spriggs, AFL-CIO economist, Andrea James, executive director of the National Council for Incarcerated and Formerly Incarcerated Women and Girls. All right, let's go to Capitol Hill. Congressman Gregory Meeks, Congresswoman Eddie British Johnson of Texas, Congresswoman Barbara Lee, Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar, mental health clinician Jamie Singletary, Prince George's County State's Attorney Aisha Brayboy, as well as Dylan Hayrie, ACLU Justice Division strategist. Dr. Cindy Duke, she is a virologist. Principal Steve Perry of Capitol Prep. Health and wellness specialist Dr. Yolandra Hancock. Desmond Meade, president of the Florida Rights Restoration Coalition. Cliff Albright, who is the co-founder of Black Voters Matter. Michael Harriet with The Root. Mina McWhorter, founder of Love by the Hand. Dr. Julianne Malvo, economist, president, Emerita Bennett College. Coroner Michael Fowler is a mayor of Atlanta. Keisha Lance Bottoms, mental health therapist Suzette Clark. Justin Gibney, attorney and political strategist, and Bishop Vincent Matthews Jr. Dr. Suzette McKinney, CEO and executive director of the Illinois Medical District. Dr. Leon McDougall, president-elect of the National Medical Association. Jana Bailey, mayor of Moss Point, Mississippi. Mario King. We're going to keep driving this thing to make sure our people are fully aware, safe, protected from coronavirus. You're getting the top medical experts, the top business experts, top political experts, top religious experts, because that's why we do what we do. Unapologetically and unfiltered. Ain't nobody else in the black media space doing what we do. Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.